Up next on the bottom line, construction of the Purple Line kicks off with a smash.
Well, it's been a real team effort. We really have been one team, Maryland. We saved $550 million, state taxpayers' money.
Officials celebrate the completion of Stringtown road improvements.
When Mr. Rice said, "Miss Foreman, guess what? You're gonna get the road," I cried for joy.
And we'll talk with the planning board chair about the board's accomplishments under his direction.
And that this really is a cutting-edge planning agency.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. It was a big day for transportation here in Montgomery County and for the state of Maryland as officials broke ground on the Purple Line light rail project. This 16-mile line will connect Bethesda with New Carrollton and have 21 stations, 10 of which will be here in Montgomery County.
On one. It's started. 3, 2, and 1.
The groundbreaking was the result of the federal government contributing $900 million towards the cost of the project. Montgomery County contributed $120 million of its own.
I want to thank Montgomery County and Prince George's County and County Executive Leggett and Baker and their councils for stepping up and agreeing to invest $330 million towards this vital project.
It's just great to say, thank goodness we're here and we're going to do it, and it's going to change lives.
Finally, we're going to be able to entice people out of their cars to commute by fast, safe, speedy, efficient, clean, quiet rail.
And, you know, it's going to provide a great connection to the Landover metro station and a train station and really create a mobility option that has never existed before.
If you live in Glenmont or Wheaton, you'll be able to take the Red Line to Silver Spring and then take the Purple Line to the University of Maryland. That was never possible before.
You work on these things for years and years and years, and then sometimes it happens.
When it's all said and done, the Purple Line is estimated to create more than 52,000 new jobs in the state of Maryland.
It's going to put so many jobs within close reach of affordable housing. I think it's going to be a game changer for our part of the region.
Officials say it couldn't have happened if everybody had not participated.
Let me acknowledge and thank our governor, because the governor made a commitment to me that they were going to support this project. And despite many challenges, he never wavered.
Well, it's been a real team effort. We really have been one team, Maryland. And we worked with our federal partners and our delegation. We worked with the legislature, the local county governments, and the federal government was the last final part.
And after the shovels went in the ground, Governor Hogan himself stepped in an excavator and took part in the first official step in breaking ground on the Purple Line.
You know what? That's my first time doing it, but I was telling the guys that I might want to come out and help them a little more. It's a stress reliever. That was a lot better than the day job I normally do.
The Purple Line is expected to be complete by the year 2022. Residents in the Up County can now access all of Stringtown Road as improvements to a stretch of that roadway have wrapped up. County officials were on hand to christen the project that will offer wider lanes, a hiker-biker path, as well as other safety improvements. After 17 months and $8 million, the widening of this stretch of Stringtown Road has been complete, much to the delight of both officials.
I've been to an awful lot of groundbreaking ceremonies, but I love ribbon cutting ceremonies.
And members of the community.
I'm happy pigeon this morning.
Before the improvements were complete, it was a scene of some high-profile accidents here in the county. Residents can now travel Stringtown Road with confidence.
I live right on the other side of this. Oh, we have been waiting for this day since they started cutting the trees down. We watch them build this road every single day, and I watch my grandkids, and so I can cut straight through here instead of driving all around town.
Just past those trees, you'll see where the old Stringtown Road used to make a hard curve, where the foremen say they saw many accidents over the years they've lived here.
A lot of them ended up in our front yard. So this road was really a big part of our lives here, and we wanted to see it changed. Now, don't have to worry with people coming around the curve, not slowing down, and
winding up in our yard.
The addition of sidewalks along the road and a hiker-biker path will improve pedestrian safety and bicycle traffic. The improvements were part of a public-private partnership. Elm Street Development handled the construction, and the county contributed $3.1 million to the project. Since taking office in 2010, Councilmember Craig Rice has advocated for the realignment of Stringtown Road.
When Mr. Rice said, "Ms. Foreman, guess what? You're gonna get the road," I cried for joy.
This is an example of where community voices a concern and talks about what's important, what needs to be done, and government reacts and makes it happen.
We're trying to keep up with demand. The reason for the demand is because we provide a really excellent and desirable community with safe neighborhoods and good schools and honest government that works for you and gets results.
But before the ribbon was officially cut, those present got a brief history on the naming of Stringtown Road from longtime Clarksburg resident Joanne Snowden Woodson.
Stringtown Road got its name because it was customary for families that lived along the road gathered to sing and play string instruments as entertainment.
And when it was time to officially cut the ribbon, well, it proved to be a difficult task, not unlike the project itself. But in the end, the new Stringtown Road was dedicated, and for many supporters, it was something to honk about. Casey Anderson has been overseeing the county's planning board as its chair since 2014. Anderson is a strong advocate for growing the county's urban areas and improving its transit network. We sat down and talked to him about what he and the board have accomplished so far during his tenure and what lies ahead.
All in favor, please raise your hands. Congratulations to Mr. Anderson, our new planning board chair.
Let's go back to when you were appointed to planning board chair in 2014. Talk a little bit about when that announcement came and how you felt.
I thought that it was important to focus on a few priorities and really stick with them. And really the idea that tied everything together was that economic development is really what this agency should be about. It's not just about regulating land use or administering a parks department, but it's about creating great places where people and employers want to be so we can continue to be prosperous and our quality of life can be maintained at a high level.
So how do you think that's gone over the past 3 years? A lot of plans have come before the county council. You guys spend a lot of time putting those together. But what do you think so far about where we're going?
I think that we've had a lot of successes. Some of the ideas that we've had in Bethesda around density allocation, parks, and also transportation, hopefully cornerstones for those issues in the future in other parts of the county.
There's 100,000 new jobs. All of that depends on improvement in our transportation infrastructure.
You mentioned transportation as a big part of your agenda. When you're approving a plan or presenting a plan, how do you go about that, making sure there's a guarantee that transportation is going to be put in place? Because a lot of those developments hinge on that transportation.
Well, one of the ideas that I feel best about contributing to our transportation rules is that we should have unified studies of planning areas or neighborhoods instead of awaiting a traffic study for each individual project. So if you want to build an apartment building or an office building, you're going to do a traffic study that may call for an intersection to be widened or a sidewalk to be built. Instead, we're trying to get away from that and look at the area comprehensively so we know what is the set of transportation improvements that's necessary in a particular part of the county, and that can be done incrementally as projects come through the process, and each one of those projects can pay into a pool that can accommodate the money that's required to get all those things done.
These are some big plans that have been happening over the past several years here in Montgomery County. What is Montgomery County going to look like in the next 20 years?
I think that we see that there's a market for living downtown, meaning Silver Spring, Bethesda, White Flint. The most intensively developed areas of the county are the places where there's energy and there's more people that want to live in those places. The younger people who are moving here for the first time, looking for a place to raise a family, and also some of the older people who are now empty nesters are finding that it's very convenient and attractive to live in more urban places.
Let's talk a little bit about Casey Anderson, the planning director. Outside of this building, we know you enjoy biking. You're very active in the Boy Scouts with your son. And you are also, if I am correct, you help coach the high school debate team.
One thing people don't know, and then I'm going to welcome him up here to speak, he's a coach of competitive high school debate teams, and I learned the hard way, if you don't have your facts when you present to him, you never make that mistake a second time. So,
I was a high school and college debater, and so my son, who's in high school, got interested in debate. I tried not to give him too much of a push, but once he decided that was something he was interested in, I was excited to get involved in that and help out with that. And my kids are really the center of my life, and it's always great when you can find things that you share in common with your kids that you enjoy doing, that they're actually willing to put up with you as a parent.
And finally, one of the main reasons we came over to see you today was to talk to you about the award that you were just given from the Smarter Growth Coalition. Talk a little bit about what that means to you and this agency.
I'm really proud on behalf of the whole agency that this agency has really a national reputation for being innovative. For their growth policy? We've really been on the cutting edge and established the state of the practice, and everything from some really interesting new ideas in the Bethesda plan about how we manage development capacity. Our bicycle plan that we're working on has already won a couple of awards from planning organizations, and so it's great for the people who are here to be recognized and to remind all of our residents that this really is a cutting-edge planning agency and that we are being acknowledged by our peers, not just locally, but all over the country.
And we leave you this week with our Montgomery Moment. Sights and sounds from the Wheaton Triangle. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.
Black men are husbands, fathers, brothers, and sons. Unfortunately, black men also have the lowest life expectancy of any other group in the U.S. Black men are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than white men. Black men also have disproportionate rates of HIV/AIDS, prostate cancer, and oral cancer. That's why black men should get serious about their health. Eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, avoiding tobacco, drinking alcohol in moderation only, and getting regular exercise are all key ways black men can maintain good health. Black men in Montgomery County are invited to attend our Brother to Brother Talks, a forum for black men to discuss their health and their lives. Learn more about AAHP and our programs and services on our website, www.aahpmontgomerycounty.org.
Are you having problems with Comcast, Verizon, or RCN? You've tried to reach the cable company, but the problem still remains? Call us at 311. We're the Montgomery County Office of Cable and Broadband Services. We're here for you. We can help you with billing issues, bad equipment, damage from construction in your yard, technical problems, cable availability, and service outages. Last year alone, we helped more than 1,200 residents. Call 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/cable.